Welcome back to Strike Fighters 2 for Episode 2 of the A4 Skyhawk campaign following Commander Devin Horner of VA-153, the Blue Tail Flies, flying off the USS Coral Sea into North Vietnam. We had a very successful first mission, even though I took a bit of ground fire. Didn't really affect anything, we were okay, landed just fine. Today, here we are, we're now 9 days later, it's September 10th, 1967. Now we have our very first proper strike mission in the scooter, and that is to strike a enemy road bridge in Tak Son Za. So that's going to be a fairly difficult target. I mean, road bridges and railroad bridges were always the bane, so it seems, reading about it, always the bane of the American flyer's existence. So many bridges were super dangerous because they were so well defended. And, sadly, for the Americans at least, they were so well built that they wouldn't fall down when hit. In some cases, some of the guided missiles, like the early bullpups, were used to try to knock down bridges. The warheads were not big enough. Oftentimes, the bombs, using dumb, conventional unguided bombs, would miss the target or not do enough damage because of all the flak. It was hard to get your sights right on it and actually get good hits, apparently. So having to go back to the same bridges over and over and over again was definitely one of the morale killers, especially for the F-105 pilots. If you read about a lot of the stuff that they had to put up with, being sent to the same target over and over again, using the exact same flight plans and all that stuff. Anyways, here today in the A4s, we've got a huge bomb load. It's just going to be 2 aircraft. We are loaded to the gills with 500-pounders, and we're going to try to just pepper the area and see if we can drop that bridge. The good news is we are once again down in Route Pack 2, so the danger level is quite low, other than from ground fire. We probably shouldn't have any interference from MiGs, although we did see a couple up and about. Well, we didn't see a couple, but we heard that there was a few up and about somewhere, so we'll see. That's always a possibility, but the odds are we will not have to worry about that. It's mainly dealing with ground fire, flak and machine guns. No SAMs this far down south either. I touched on it briefly at the end of the last episode, but I did want to say that this has been a campaign that has been a long time coming. People have been asking for this literally for years, and I knew that I eventually wanted to get back to the naval campaign and fly some new planes, but I have so many other series going that I just sort of put it off because I didn't want to start yet another series that I wasn't going to be able to devote full time to and get through quickly. So I basically reversed that decision and decided, people are asking for this all the time. People really love this airplane. So let's go ahead and just start it. We will not get through it all in one shot. The plan is to do a bunch of episodes and then just have it in the regular rotation of the other stuff. But at least people will be getting their A4 action that they have been waiting for so long. So that's the deal there. Getting back to the mission itself, we go to the loadout, and I have loaded, let's see, so I've got 16 500-pound bombs, 2 out here on the outer pylons, 6 on the center line, and then 8 on the inner pylons. And that is going to be the same for, whoops, actually I put snake eyes on these guys, bad. They're regular bombs. Okay, so Gunslinger 2 has got the same thing, and I've removed, this is where the drop tanks were. They actually gave us 2 300-gallon drop tanks, which we do not need, so we can leave the tanks behind. We don't need all that fuel. We can just pack more of a punch with the number of bombs that we bring. And in fact, our takeoff weight today is 25,250 pounds, so about 5,000 pounds more than we had in the previous mission with just the missiles and a couple of snake eyes. Fuel and ammo, 100%. I was talking about the very small gun load on this aircraft. Ammo is at 100% is only 60 rounds. 60, and that goes by in about 2 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. You basically have one burst maybe 2 bursts. If you're really frugal, you know, you'd get 2 passes on a target, but definitely not designed for long-term close air support and loitering with the guns. Once you're basically out of droppable munitions, you're done, and it's, you know, back to the ship at that point. Here's the map. As I said, we are barely going anywhere. We're just north of the DMZ here. So this Route Pack 2, maybe even Route Pack 1, near KFAT, but basically taking off, circling around. We'll go to the left this time. We'll circle wide left. Marshal up here at 6,000 feet. Here's the initial point, and then we're into the target, which is going to be right here on the river, and then circle out to the south and to the east and return to the ship. Here is our escort mission, actually, also off the Coral Sea. So there's 3, I found 2 other A4 strike flights, so there's at least 3 Skyhawk strike flights coming off the Coral Sea. And here is our F4 Phantom Squadron, VF-151, the Vigilantes. They are flying escort mission for us in their F4Bs on the way into the TAC Zone ZA area. So it's kind of an alpha strike today off the Coral Sea. It seems like almost every squadron is getting involved. So that'll be interesting to see what slot we are scheduled to depart in. So there may be squadrons behind us taking off, or maybe we'll be the third, you know, going off. The other 2 strikes are going somewhere else, so they will not be in our immediate area, but they will be, you know, somewhere in Vietnam today. Here's the roster. I'm leading the flight in Gunslinger 1. Gunslinger 2 will be Ensign Fred Freckleton again, who was with us last mission and got that 1 air-to-ground kill with the Shrike. He'll be joining us once again to get a little more XP under his belt. And yeah, hopefully everything goes as smoothly today as it did yesterday. We're ready to get underway. We'll see you up on deck as we prepare to blast off into the skies of Vietnam. Let's get going. Alright, launch successful. Gray day today as we pull up and away from the carrier. Just straight on out, on our way up to 6,000 feet. 2 launched right behind me, so we are airborne, ready to go. Shift over to waypoint. 3 is over to our right. Okay.
Red Crown, Buick lead. Lands at waypoint 3. Buick 1, Red Crown. Copy that.
ECM is on, so we put that right on to start confusing the enemy radar operators before we even get close to the shore. We're getting calls for bandits.
Right, 1 o'clock, 50 miles. Angel 15, heading southwest.
There we go, there's 4,000 feet.
Waypoint 2, Crab 1, Red Crown. Copy that.
Just 2 grand more. Put 40 miles on the radar. We can just see the edge of the Vietnam coastline off there to our left.
Departure, Ambulance, clock airborne, red crown, violently, taxi, waypoint 4, flying 1, red crown.
Alright, we'll get leveled out here at 6,000 feet, and then we'll take a look at the map and see if our
Crab 1.
escort flight is going to be rendezvousing with us or what. Looks like Crab Flight there. I think those are our escorts, so they're actually behind us. You can see Buick heading south and away, so they're off on their own mission. We've got the Coral Sea, the Intrepid, the Enterprise is back, and the Kitty Hawk is all out there. I don't think that the Enterprise will be back at this point. Her deployment ended in July when we went back with the Phantoms, so she wouldn't. I don't think she would be here at this point. She'd be back, you know, probably doing a post-deployment overhaul in California. I'm just throttled way back at the second. I want to let the. Oh my goodness! Look at the.
Flight airborne.
Man, look at this bomb load. Absolutely crazy.
12 o'clock.
We're gonna set that to full
Heading
ripple quantity and full interval. So we want these to drop in their entirety with a decent spacing in between each one. It's not a huge spacing. I mean, it's only 140 milliseconds. But we do want the maximum available to drop these guys down. Jeez, look at this thing. Looking good. We're just holding at 300 knots here, so not particularly slow. You know, we're not falling out of the sky or anything. But I do want to take it easy because I want the escorts to catch up. And if we have any sort of anti-air suppression, I want to make sure that that flight is also going to get there first to give us an easier time of it. But I guess maybe not, because we're just, there we go, we just hit waypoint 3 right now, which would be our rendezvous point, so back down to the south now. We can turn off the nav lights. ECM is on. Radar is down to 20 miles. We'll go up to 2.0 on the pressure ratio gauge.
red crown. Showtime 6. Taxi, waypoint 4. Showtime 1. Red crown. Copy.
All right. On our way in, down to about 5,000 feet here. We're going to be performing a basic Navy pop-up bombing technique, which even at this point in the war was not an exact science. Every squadron had their own personalized procedure that they would follow, and that was based on what the pilots were working out for themselves in combat. So what was working, what was not working. No two squadrons were necessarily exactly the same in their procedure. They were pretty much close in that you would approach at about 5,000 feet at 450 knots, pull up to 12,000 feet, and then pitch over about 50 to 60 degrees down with the speed brakes out, jinking in on the way out, and then release it around between 65 and 6,000 feet. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We do a 4 to 5G pullout, and we want to be pulled out prior to 4,000 feet to avoid small arms flak and any sort of blowback from our own bombs. And then it's a hard left turn after we do the pullout. So let's see if we can string all of that together. We are picking up a radar on our raw equipment from somewhere. Somebody's fallen out of the sky up ahead. What in the world is that? Somebody just called for bandits. Is that true? Could there be MiGs down here? Well, we're selecting the bombs. We're heading in on our own target here. Somebody just passing fast to our left. That's a MiG and a miss. Oh my god, a missile just went past us.
I've got a fight.
That's our bridge right there.
Red round, viewing lead.
So we're at full power now, getting up to 450 knots. That missile just missing us on its way to try to knock down that MiG-17.
Red round, Cobra.
In the pop-up now.
Cobra 1, red round. Copy. Red round.
Wingman,
Answer
attack my target.
1.
We're gonna roll over on the back as we're passing about 9,000 feet, identifying the target. There it is.
USN high. Fox 1.
Breaks out as we're in over the top. We're just gonna dive right down on top of this thing.
Red round, violently. 5 minutes to our target. Lion 1, red round. Copy.
Line it up. Release.
1.
In the pullout. Coming down, we are way too low. I saw a secondary. I think we hit a part of the bridge. But did not knock the whole thing down. Another radar hitting us from somewhere. Could it be that that is actually
Gunslinger lead, red round.
a MiG's targeting radar?
15 miles. Angel.
Those look like F4s.
Red round, Dallas lead.
Somebody going down, exploding off to our right.
Red round. Copy that. Red round. Cobra lead. Target 5 minutes out. Cobra 1,
Look, we dropped the middle span there.
2. Copy that. I've got your target.
I know it's kind of hard to see there, but right in the middle of that smoke plume, we actually dropped the middle span. Apparently it was not enough to trigger a RTB, but here's 2 on his way in. We're watching for bomb impacts. How is he gonna do? Oh my goodness, that's him way out there. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Missed! Wingman. Rejoin. We're getting pinged by this radar coming from somewhere. Probably a gun directing radar, I would assume. You can hear that the flak just exploding off to our side there. Probably indicates that it is. We are being tracked by gunnery radar, but we're already out over the ocean. Oh, look at that. Another plane going down out there to our right. Tons of AAA coming up from that base. That's an F4 just off the right there. That's a C camo. So that's an Air Force F4. F4C under there. We can slow back down now. Whew. Another splash off to our left. Let's see, let's check on 2 here. He's still okay. Oh, look at that! A giant strike just outside of... Oh, another strike! Highly coordinated strikes today. So there was one massive strike right next to the bridge, and then another one into that base there, and now here is our wingman making evasive maneuvers to avoid all this flak that's right all over him. So there's definitely a gun directing radar right in this vicinity. In fact, maybe down there in that large base area. Pretty sure that's who was pinging us as well. Well, that's it then. I mean, we're back out to sea. That is the mission is complete already. We definitely hit the bridge, but apparently it was not enough to count as a mission accomplished, I guess. So looks like we've slightly missed our waypoint as well while we were sightseeing.
I see that. Man, red crown.
Nav lights back on. We'll turn off the ECM now.
Hammer 1, red crown. Copy that. He's burning. It's going down. 1. Red crown. Crab 3. Pass waypoint 5. Crab 1, red crown. Copy that. Gun. He's going down in flames.
Extremely busy mission. Once again. You can look at the map. You can see how busy it is. Like, there's so many aircraft. Gunfire's going on. I bet there's some F8 Crusaders up somewhere with all that gunfire. That would be my guess.
I got him. Red crown. Dallas, please. Pass.
Man, VPAF is losing a lot of MiGs today, I think.
Target hit. Red crown. Cobra lead. Pass waypoint 7. Cobra 1, red crown. Copy. Red crown. Austin lead. Passing waypoint 5. Austin 1, red crown. Copy that. Red crown. Buick lead. Passing waypoint 7. Buick 1, red crown. Copy that.
I think that's the Coral Sea ahead of us on the radar there, but we're going to have to overfly her and then come around the other direction to get lined up for the break to land and landing itself. Yeah, you can see here we're passing over the top of it to the north, and then we'll come back around.
Firing gun. Cobra lead. Pass waypoint 8. Cobra 1.
Here's number 2 sliding into position. There's the Coral Sea just in front of us. Down low, heading the opposite direction of us. About 5 miles away now. Should be able to see it here pretty soon. Yep, there she is. Alright, looks like we're good. So there's waypoint 9. Alright, so we ease it on down to 800 feet for the flyby here. Let the speed come back down to 350 knots. Lights are on. Hook is coming down. Now that I remember how to deploy it. There's Almost 800. 375.
Fire and gun.
Speed can come back a little bit more.
Target destroyed.
And there's the ship. Flight deck looks good and clear. Over the top of her. There's the brakes. Into the brake itself. 250 knots. Landing gear down. Flaps coming down.
Gun. Fire. Target destroyed.
There's a beam of the touchdown area where it's still a little fast. Actually, let's go brakes out. Keep the RPM up. There's about 150. This is about where we were. Yep, there it is. Getting the stall buffet last time. And starting to get the correct on-speed indication. With the golden donut there. So around we come. Although it is tough to see out of this cockpit on the way in. In fact, it feels like we're awfully shallow. Cheat a little bit. Not that I like doing that, but can we? Okay, can we see out this cockpit on the way in? Okay, that looks. See air brakes. Nope, that's a bolter go around. Go, 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 go. Well, that was interesting. That looked like we hit right in the middle of the wires, but did not catch any, so maybe we hit and bounced, perhaps. And then I couldn't tell. It felt like the plane had caught. Should have come up to full power sooner. Give that a go again. Alright, so we're right abeam of the touchdown area. Let's start turning in right away this time and not fall way behind the fantail of the ship. Where's my altitude? There we go. 600. I don't want to get too low coming around because we get flat on final and then I can't see. Looking at the wake here. Okay, there's the landing area. Coming down a little hard here. What's going on? Alright, on downwind here. A little fast. Keep the nose up. Okay, a beam of the touchdown point on our way in now. Bit of power as we come through. I don't want to lose all this altitude through the turn just yet. About 140 knots, 145 knots. Okay. Start to come back on the power as we roll out. In fact, let's deploy air brakes. Oh, we're a little flat, little flat. Dude, what the hell is going on here? Up. We're going to go around, reset up for an entirely new pass. This is getting a bit outrageous. Alright, 800 feet, about 340 knots. Bump the throttle just a little bit there. Coming up over the starboard side of the ship. Deck looks clear. We are good to go. Into the brake. Under 250 now. Gear and flaps coming down. And actually, we'll keep the air brakes out. Right at 1,000 feet here. Oh, we've got planes coming in. Oh, how are we gonna do this? Let's slot in behind this guy, actually. Those look like F4s. That's our Phantom escort team coming back. Just cut right in here between these guys. Going a little hard there. Okay. Ooh, and what is with the lean here? Did we blow a tire or... Oh my goodness. We apparently busted a landing gear somewhere. Hey, wave off, wave off, wave off. Yeah, let's just go ahead and end before he hits us. Okay, well that was interesting. Let's try to figure out what happened there. Mission debrief. We were to strike a strategic target, destroy the road bridge at Taxonza, which, the game considers us to have failed. mission was aborted. Primary target was not damaged. Not true. I definitely hit it and damaged and busted out the whole middle span of it. 1A4 was damaged, apparently missing my right main landing gear. Rating of failure, they still gave me 400 points for it though, so I'm okay with that. So that was very interesting. Here's the stats. Dropped 16 500-pounders for 5 hits and 1 kill. So we definitely did a bunch of damage there. Freckleton, sadly though, he came in with that super long windup and pitch, and then missed the target completely as well. So even with all of those bombs, 32 bombs on board, maybe we should have taken more aircraft, but true to life, we'll just have to return to this target and continue damaging it and hopefully destroying it in the future. So, let's see. So here's the log. At 10:23:47, I dropped all my bombs, and I hit the road bridge with 5 of them, and I destroyed a road bridge. So, I mean, that's it. That's the primary target. Apparently, it just wasn't the right part of the primary target to count. So, whatever. Could not satisfy the Strike Fighter's gods on this one. Here's an S-60 firing at Freckleton. A ZSU-57, and then... So that's it. That's the only AAA that fired at us was at Freckleton. So something happened on the way in, maybe on that first pass, on the first landing attempt. Perhaps hit too hard? Took the main wheel off. I mean, it must have been on one of the landings. I suppose we had a landing gear collapse on us and dug into the deck. So, oops, I guess. But we live to fight another day. The plane will be repaired, and yeah, we'll be able to take it out on the next jaunt. Maybe back to this same stupid bridge. I guess we'll have to see. Okay. Well, that's mission 2 in the books. That one was a little zany and not what I would call textbook at all. It's funny that the very first mission I had, I was able to get a pretty decent carrier landing in the A4, and this time it just eluded me for some reason. It just maybe wasn't kicking the nose up enough for the tail hook to catch. I'm not really sure. Or maybe at some point I had actually damaged the undercarriage and things were going awry that I did not realize. So, either way, we ended up back on board. So, we'll see you in the next episode, episode 3, as we continue to bring our A4 into North Vietnam, and we'll see what the future holds for us there. Join me then. Thanks for joining me this time, and we'll see you later. All right, bye.